Elon Musk made some absolutely monumental comments and gave out some insane information in yesterday's conference call. And I just want to draw to your guys' attention a few things that Elon Musk talked about and mentioned that are extremely important, because these are things that will transform where Tesla stock goes over time. This will transform society and many other various things that unfortunately, in this day and age, a lot of people just don't even want to listen to a conference call. They're like, oh my gosh, it's an hour long. It's going to cut into my TikTok time. It's going to cut into my Netflix time. Oh my gosh. And that's the society we live in. And people wonder why there's such massive differences in wealth gap. And there's going to be much more. And the folks that are going to end up owning the whole world are the ones that have attention spans and can pay attention to things and be aware of these things. The TikTokification of society, I can tell you, is going to be very bad for a lot of individuals out there, because they aren't going to be able to keep even paying attention to something for longer than 10 seconds, because they need something to change and the next swipe and the next swipe and those sorts of things. So it's very unfortunate, but yeah, for the folks that do have those attention spans, I appreciate you all joining me. I don't make videos obviously for that generation of folks that can't even keep their, every once in a while I'll get a comment like, your videos are too long, man. They're like 20 minutes. I'm not watching that. And it's like, dude, I'm not making the videos for you. Believe me on that. You're not my people. You're not even no, okay? So, yeah, the whole TikTok game, those people can do whatever they're going to do. But, yeah, the people that end up going to own the world are going to be the people that can actually pay attention to stuff that's a little higher level, let's call it, than that stuff. So, by the way, appreciate everybody joining me as always. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being subscribed. New all-time high subscribers on the channel, okay? So, a lot of important things. And by the way, a lot of Tesla bears out there celebrating today, bragging in bull's face. Let's not forget, even after the drop here today, Tesla's up 143% year to date. Bulls like myself are up over 1,000% on the stock over the years. So yeah, they can pop their champagne bottles tonight or whatever. But yeah, a little more to this game. Okay. All right. First huge thing that Elon Musk mentioned on that conference call that I thought was massive and went over a lot of people's heads is this right here. He says, and this came in spite of high interest rates, basically talking about, the numbers they put up, right? With a lot of macro uncertainty. And nonetheless, we've managed to achieve operating margin of about 10%. We continue to target 1.8 million vehicles delivered this year, although we expect that Q3 production will be a little bit down because we've got some summer shutdowns, right? So that's, if you really want to know why Tesla stock was down here today, that was a sentence that really sent the stock down, to be quite frank, right? People are saying, oh man, delivery is going to be down. This is the end of the world for Tesla. This is awful. This isn't good, right? And to that I say, if you're going to judge this company, by the way, we're switching cameras. If you're going to judge this company based upon one quarter, you're completely lost in regards to good old Tesla, my Tesla stock, right? But this is something that makes a short-term trader say, I got to get out of this stock. And that's why the stock sold off, because all the short-term people see something like that and are like, oh my gosh, delivery is going to be down this next quarter. I'm out of this thing, right? Yeah, long-term investors, we know a little bit better than to get caught up into the one-quarter game, right? In the long term, autonomy, we think, is going to drive a lot of volume through the ceiling to the next level, right? In sort of the future robotaxi opportunity. So Elon right here is basically saying that, as they get to autonomy, robotaxi, that's going to take volumes to, and he's mentioned this in the past, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million plus vehicles. It's hard to even put a number on it. And I can definitely see that, even before FSD, in robotaxi opportunity, I can see Tesla easily getting to 5 to 10 million cars a year, right? I mean, it's looking more and more realistic as the years take on, they're going to get to 5 to 10 million vehicles. But if you're thinking about past 10 million, that's really robotaxi opportunity. So he's really doubling down there, right? Now, if you're bullish on Nvidia, this is great news for you, okay? If you're bearish on Nvidia, you don't want to see something like this, okay? So Elon's basically talking about AI and training and all those sorts of things, and he specifically mentions Nvidia, and they're going to be using Nvidia and Dojo as well for their vast, training systems that they got going on. Now, that's not even the most bullish thing that happened for Nvidia on this call. There was something a little later on that I'm going to show you guys that was far more bullish. If you are bullish on Nvidia, something way bigger for Nvidia that happens a little later on, okay? Now, Cybertruck. Everybody wants to know about Cybertruck. This is one of the things that I was super excited to hear about on the conference call. He says, with regards to our Cybertruck, we will continue to build our release candidates of the Cybertruck on our final production line in Austin. I'm actually here in Austin at the Gigafactory. This is the first truck that we're aware of that has 4 doors, over a 6-foot bed, and will fit into a 20-foot garage. That's huge. So it's sort of big on the outside, but even bigger on the inside. So I think that's one of the elements of good design, and it should make it feel bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. That's phenomenal. I'm really excited. I'm not even a truck guy, but I'm going to be getting a Cybertruck, and I'm really excited for, getting that product overall. Okay, and by the way, there's something that happens later on in the conference call that, in my opinion, makes it even more bullish on Cybertruck. Oh, my baby has arrived. I don't think I'm on this camera, but anyways, let me pause this. My baby's here. All right, now this next part is huge because this is one of those things that if you're thinking about what could boost up Q3 numbers, this is something that could definitely help Q3 a little bit here, okay? So he's basically asked about people being able to transfer, let's say you have full self-driving in a Model S right now, right? And it's a Model S you bought 4 years ago. And you want to go ahead and buy a new Model S, let's say, for instance, or a Model 3 or whatever car, okay? Let's just say it's a new Model S. Like, you want to be able to transfer your full self-driving to that other vehicle. So basically, Elon Musk right here says, yes, this is a question we get asked a lot. So we're excited to announce that for Q3, we'll be allowing transfer of full self-driving. This is a one-time amnesty, so it needs to be done and taken advantage of in Q3, okay? So for people that are really big Tesla fans and want to upgrade their vehicle to a newer model or something like that, they're going to be able to basically shift their FSD from that old vehicle to the new vehicle. So I thought that was a pretty intriguing idea, and that just goes to show, Tesla's always doing these interesting things that are just beyond what other folks are even able to do capabilities-wise, right? Now, Cybertruck, right? Right here, asked about Cybertruck on a bunch of different things, but right off the bat, he says, demand is so far off the hook, you can't even see the hook, right? And I still really think, Cybertruck is so, misunderstood by the stock market right now, and I mean, at the end of the day, this is the most talked about vehicle in the history of mankind, right? Elon Musk is telling you demand is so far off the hook, you can't even see the hook. So in terms of Cybertruck demand, it's going to be fun to see that vehicle ramp over the next several years. It's going to be years of ramp, right? Could it be the most popular vehicle for Tesla? In the United States of America, it is possible. In the United States, people love trucks, especially out in the Southwest. I mean, here in Vegas, people love trucks. Arizona, it's a whole different level of trucks. You don't even understand trucks until you drive out to Arizona and you spend some time in Arizona. People go crazy for trucks. Texas, oh my gosh. I mean, many of these massive markets, people just, trucks are just in. People that don't even need trucks for work drive trucks. And so Cybertruck, the most talked about truck in history of trucks and vehicle in the history of vehicles, I mean, it's going to be absolutely extraordinary to see the numbers that Cybertruck puts up over the next few years, okay? Now, this part I didn't really like, okay? Elon Musk starts talking about, Tesla and the long-term future and having confidence in Tesla, and that's cool, but then he starts talking about things like, he sees a pathway to maybe 10x the company over time in terms of the valuation or 5x and things like that. I don't like my CEOs to talk like that, just to be quite frank. I just like them to talk about the business and how we can 5x revenues and net income and those sorts of things. Not really talking about the valuation of the company or why it should, go to this sort of valuation over time and those sorts of things. So I didn't really like that, but it's Elon Musk, so it almost comes to be expected because this is the same man that tells you sometimes, to not buy Tesla stock on margin and tells you, he thinks Tesla stock's overvalued and those sorts of things. So this would be a really big red flag if it was almost anybody but Elon Musk, because you should never really be commenting too much on your stock price. And it almost felt like Elon Musk kind of went out of his way to speak about Tesla's stock price. So that was part that are just kind of let the analysts do that. Let people like me do that, talk about where Tesla's future is going, not you as a CEO of the company, right? Because if you don't, I know a lot of people haven't read the history of the stock market, but there was a lot of folks that, there were CEOs of Enron, for instance, is a great example of, the man used to pump that stock all the time, and, we know how Enron turned out. If you don't know how Enron turned out, Google it sometime, okay? Now, Tesla's no Enron. It's just you don't like to see because of the precedent that was set in the past by CEOs who kind of did those sorts of things around their stock price. Now, by the way, while I was prepping this video, I saw this was interesting. This is actually insane, okay? So some trader about like 85,000 contracts, September 400 calls. They paid about $1.24 premium for this. So basically, this trader is betting that Tesla's going to rebound above $400 a share by September expiration. Now, to make a bet like this, you really need to be believing that Tesla's going way past all-time highs, which all-time highs just over 400. To be risking this, you need to be convinced that Tesla's going to like 420, 450, 475, because you're taking such an insane risk in regards to this, right? To be making a move like this is extremely risky. Tesla stock right now is $200 something, right? What did Tesla actually close at today? Is it like 260 something? Tesla 262 roughly. So, I mean, you need this stock to absolutely blast higher, like 40%ish, to really start making some real money in regards to this one. So, actually way over that to really make any significant money. So this is a big risk, man. Big risk. And this just speaks volumes about somebody either knows something or is very convinced that Tesla's going to break all-time highs, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later. That's a crazy move, man. Crazy, crazy move. Now, this matters quite significantly, right? Because they were basically asking about margins and, you know, kind of the views on margins, right? Elon Musk really took kind of more of a long-term view. He said, where's the crystal ball again, right? Because basically Elon Musk is saying, like, if the economy gets weaker, worse, or interest rates go up higher, we might have to continue to have low prices for vehicles, right? So that's kind of where the crystal ball, he says, if I may look at the short-term variances in gross margin and profitability really are minor relative to the long-term picture. Autonomy will make all these numbers look silly. I'd recommend looking at ARK Invest, right? And so basically saying, like, the margins that we're putting up right now are just so minuscule compared to what our margins are going to be, you know, 5 years out, 10 years out for this company, right? That it almost feels like silly to even talk about these short-term margins of 18%, or is it 19%, or is it 20% or 21%? Because he believes obviously margins are going substantially higher than where they're at today, like monumentally higher, right? Now, this is interesting, right? And this is a great way of putting it for Elon Musk. He says, frankly, because he's kind of being asked about cash flow and those sorts of things, he says, frankly, I think it's ridiculous that we have positive free cash flow in a capital-intensive business while investing massive amounts of money in new technology. That's super hard. And he's 100% right, man. It's quite a feat. And that just speaks volumes to the job Elon Musk and the whole Tesla team has been doing with his business model. To be in a situation like this and in a place like this, my gosh, is that hard to actually pull that off, okay? Now, next up here, this is extremely bullish on Nvidia specifically. This is like the most bullish thing you could possibly imagine for Nvidia, okay? So Elon Musk is talking about training of the AI systems and everything like that, right? And he says, so that's what Dojo is designed to do, optimize for video training. It's not optimized for LLMs, right? Large language models. It's optimized for video training. With video training, you have much higher ratio of compute to memory bandwidth. So whereas LLMs tend to be memory bandwidth choked. So that's it. But like I said, we're using a lot of Nvidia hardware. We'll continue to. We actually take Nvidia hardware as fast as Nvidia can deliver it to us. Oh, is that powerful? Literally, Elon Musk is basically saying, as many chips as Nvidia could possibly sell us, we will take every flippin' flapjack and one off your hands, okay? Give us. That's when you got a company like Tesla that has the capabilities that Tesla has. It's basically saying, give us as many freaking chips as you can, Jensen. That is insanely bullish for Nvidia. Tremendous. I don't even own Nvidia stock, but I gotta say, man, if I owned Nvidia stock, I'd be that is a beautiful thing to hear. Tremendous respect for Jensen, which is the CEO of Nvidia, and Nvidia. They've done an incredible job. And frankly, I don't know if they could deliver us enough GPUs. We might need Dojo, but they can't. So they've got so many customers. They've been kind enough, nonetheless, to prioritize some of the GPU orders. But yes, the sheer magnitude of video training, because like I said, we're trying to not just get as good as a human, but obviously immensely better than a human at driving, right? Cool for Tesla and great for Tesla, but it's just like the most bullish, like little 2 paragraphs for Nvidia stock ever.
that Elon Musk is saying, freaking man, we need as many, and like Nvidia can't even give us as many GPUs. We need everything. We need everything. So man, really powerful stuff for Nvidia there, right? Now, I thought this was pretty interesting, right? And basically Elon Musk is asked about FSD, right? Full self-driving. And he's kind of pushed a little bit on, you know, like why not maybe potentially lower prices or do other things and whatnot, right? And Elon Musk basically makes a case that, you know, $15,000 is actually a steal deal for the product. Like if you buy it for $15,000, you're getting a great deal on that. This should be something that appreciates long term, and you know, for full self-driving, that's insane for only $15,000, right? That's basically the gist of it. Now, I have a very different opinion of Elon Musk. I agree that full self-driving is insane technology, and I believe it's going to be massive, and I believe it is so good for humans because of how many accidents happen on a daily basis. So we agree there. Now, where we disagree is on, and this is very important, price. Because at the end of the day, just because you feel something has so much value does not mean the world can pay that sort of price. Or it doesn't mean the masses, and let's be honest, if Tesla needs to hit its numbers, it needs the masses to afford this. The masses can't afford to buy a $40,000, $50,000 vehicle and then pay another $15,000 plus before tax on something like that, right? It's just not realistic. And so if you're going to talk about the masses being able to afford something like that, right, we need to have price points that are in the realm that the masses can afford, that they say, yeah, man, that's a no-brainer. I need to go ahead and buy that, right? And so my opinion on this has always been that Tesla should come in at $99 a month. I think they do $99 a month. I think so many Tesla customers sign up for that. I think the percentages go up immensely. And think about it, $99 a month is $1,200 a year, right? And so I think there's a lot of people that could wrap their head around $99 a month and would be willing to pay for the technology, because remember, a lot of people like driving, so they don't really want the car to drive them, but they would be fine every once in a while, right? Especially if you're taking a call or doing this or doing that. You might want the car to drive you around. If you're in traffic, that's a nightmare. Like imagine living in LA and you're in that bumper to bumper traffic all the time. It is so annoying to like push the gas a little bit, then hit the brake, push the gas. It is the worst, right? There's a reason people hate traffic. And so for those sorts of situations, like FSD is absolutely amazing. But $15,000 before tax is a big price to pay, right? $99 a month. Now people say, dang, I'm going to get $99 with value. You have to be able to give a product out there that is immensely above what everybody could justify in their head, right? And they get way more value from that than whatever they pay, right? A great example of that is the iPhone, maybe the most powerful product in the history of mankind that was ever created, right? And when it comes to the iPhone, right, I pay whatever the price is for that. I don't know, $1,000 or whatever price it is, right? Is that phone worth $1,000 to me? No, it's worth like $100,000 to me, like $500,000, like $1 million to me. It's like I can't even explain how valuable that phone is to me, right? And the same thing with my computer. Like, where do you think I'm listening to all these conference calls on and looking up all these investor reports and working from on a daily basis? It's from my MacBook Pro, right? It's from my iPhone. It's from my iPad. So Apple's able to deliver me these products that are way more valuable to me than what I'm paying for, right? I pay, I don't know, what do we pay? $150 for like the fastest internet? I get way more than $150 worth of value from that internet each month, right? Like immensely more. And so at the end of the day, you got to be able to have your customers say, I can afford this, I can pay this, and this is worth it. And it's just a much harder sell. I can tell you at $15,000 for a vehicle they might end up selling and then realizing, oh, I don't even have this, right? Versus like I'm on a subscription plan for something affordable like $99, because I can tell you the masses, the middle class can actually afford $99 a month for technology like that, right? A lot of other people, I don't know. I don't even have FSD on my cars. I'm the 1%, but I can't justify spending $15,000 on it, right? Maybe in a few years it's a different story, but I can't do that. I'm in the 1%. So how do you expect other people to go ahead and do that? And there's a reason that FSD is such a small percentage of vehicles sold actually have FSD in them. So my opinion, Elon Musk just has to change the mentality. There's a big difference between knowing how valuable a product is and being able to sell a product at a price that people say, you know what, this is a no-brainer, right?
And that's what they've done with Model 3. That's what they've done with Model Y. Those are no-brainer products, and that's why they're putting up the sort of numbers they're putting up, because people are just like, this is a steal deal. It's a great deal, especially with the tax rebates and all that stuff. Like, oh my gosh, it's a steal deal. No one looks at FSD as a steal deal unless they are so far down the rabbit hole of like Tesla that it's like, no one that is an average buyer that goes to buy a Tesla is like, oh yeah, $15,000 for FSD is such a great deal. No one does that. And that's why there's a very small percentage of people. Why not have a subscription plan that the masses will actually sign up for? That's what we should do. It's my opinion, and that's what we will end up doing long term, in my opinion. You watch. Elon Musk will change his mind on that. It's a matter of time. So, appreciate everybody joining me as always. Thanks so much, folks. Thanks for being subscribed. New all-time high subscribers in the history of the channel. I appreciate y'all. By the way, this transcripts was all through Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is, they're phenomenal for like kind of looking through transcripts like this of conference calls, and also like, they have a massive amount of writers that write bullish and bearish articles from different standpoints on like, different companies and whatnot. So I did a sponsorship with them on the main channel, like it was probably a month ago or so. And they gave me a link for a free 14-day trial when I did that sponsorship. So I'll put that as like the pinned comment down there, just in case you want a free 14-day trial. And, I know it's earnings season right now, so it's nice to kind of read through these transcripts and whatnot and all that good stuff. So anyways, guys, appreciate you joining me as always. Much love and have a great day.